All right, hello everybody. My name is Master Chen.
I'm Tick. Go ahead.
We rehearsed this awesomely.
Hold on. Let's try that again. Hello everybody. My name is Master Chen.
Oh, I'm tech savvy.
I'm Vic.
And I always go last.
I'm checked out. That's what
And you are either watching or listening to Greynoise. All right, everybody, welcome to episode 155 of Greynoise, the podcast where we have our shit together. So, it is Friday night, 7:30 p.m., like every Friday night. We are here at the Sin Shop. The address is 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. What else was I? Oh, yeah. Hang out with us. Also, go to sinshop.org for information.
Let's just like hang out, man.
Go to sinshop.org for information on the shop. Remember, go to meetup.com/sinshop for our future classes and stuff going on. It is con season. Con season is upon us. We will talk about that in just a second. Remember, also go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.se for more information on us. Okay, so a couple of announcements going on. Let's see. Like I said, con season is upon us. That is Black Hat, B-Sides, DEF CON. Everybody raise your hands if you're going. Yeah, the audience loves us. Also, you may notice that I do not have a laptop. That's because we're going completely mobile and digital. We are recording on this. No, I'm kidding. My laptop is being used over there in the live stream because McNutt is no longer with us for this week. So we will see him again next week. And we, after setting up my laptop to do the recording, we really do appreciate his role on this podcast because that was a little bit of a task, right? So, and also, we have Tech Savvy and Vic on the show with us today. BGM and Doxy are touring the world on the 31 Days Around the World cruise, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you didn't know that, right?
Oh,
I didn't know that idea. I didn't know that either.
Are they aboard the Childish Tycoon, cruising around the world?
Is that a thing?
Some guy at their community college got that for him. You have not seen the fourth season of Community. Okay.
No, I have not. Wait, was that the bad one? There was
no,
a
the
season
third season was the gas leak.
Okay, yeah, okay, gotcha. All right, so
Anyway.
now that we got all that out of the way, how was everybody's week?
Come back to me.
Okay, Vic, you're doing good. You're hanging in there.
Yeah, everything's good. A little busy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get so much done because nobody does my job when I'm not there. So
And you're preparing for the week.
Yeah,
out
I'm
of
taking
DEF CON,
9
right?
days off, and it's like
Yeah, and actually, it's kind of funny, right? Because you told me today, 20 minutes before the show, that today is Sysadmin Day.
That's correct.
Awesome, because I didn't know that it was Sysadmin Day, but it felt like Sysadmin Day.
I want a sysadmin to like say, hey, my company did something for me because I've never heard of that.
Yeah. I want like cake or something.
I worked at a company where they did. They actually did. They handed out beer glasses it said like something like include H beer or something like that. I think it was from ThinkGeek. But yeah, no, they gave glasses to everybody.
So you got one of these?
I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's
Bring it in or it didn't happen.
okay.
Okay, cool. We'll prove that next week for you guys.
Really want to see it? Sure.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Yeah, Pixar didn't happen. Whip it out. I'm kidding. I've had a lot of coffee. I've had a lot of coffee, Red Bull, and beer, so that's all mixed in.
Yeah, just don't send them to me because I post that shit.
There you go. Tech Savvy, how's your week?
I went to California. It was pretty good.
Okay, cool. Anything crazy?
No, it was too hot though.
Anything techie?
Not really, no.
All right.
Actually, less tech.
Well, less tech. You know what? That's also a good thing too, though, right?
There was no cell phone reception in the hotel. It was crazy. Yeah.
I kind of wish I had that sometimes, right?
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Right? So let's see. Oh, speaking of the heat, fuck it. like now, I was born and raised in Vegas, and my God, like I know that it's been bad like in years prior, but this year, I don't know what happened. If you don't, I don't know. I'm
It's
speechless.
humid.
It's bad.
Well, it's been completely crazy. I've got log files for the last 5 years about how much it takes to cool my house, and this is like 30% greater this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that going to have an effect on your power bill, even though you have that efficiency?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can see it.
Oh yeah, I'm getting hammered.
God.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What's different? What is different
It's
about this
humid.
year? No, I understand that, but I mean, every year we have our monsoon season, which started about a week and a half ago now, 2 weeks ago.
And it usually starts in the last part of July,
Yeah.
not the first part of July.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of started earlier, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite DEF CON memories is we were at a party that unfortunately was canceled. So this party that was unfortunately canceled, we were on this balcony of the canceled party, and it was there was lightning off in the distance,
yeah.
and it lit the sky up purple. It was fucking amazing.
It was gorgeous.
It was great. It was great.
It wasn't purple to all of us.
Aw.
I see what you're trying to do there, but no, it was purple to all of us. I'm not colorblind. I know what's going on. So,
So I declared today Space Day.
Space Day. Why
I
Space
called
Day?
in space because No Man's Sky, the new update came out on Tuesday. I called into work and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I got so much stuff going on during the week. I got stuff planned during the weekend. Screw it. I'm taking a day off work, staying home, playing No Man's Sky.
Okay. Now, do you think after playing it for the whole day, right?
I have 13 hours in it since Tuesday.
Oh, nice. You have gamed 13 hours since Tuesday. I have gamed.
You've gurned?
I've gurned.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I have gamed 13 hours since the beginning of this year. Okay, I'm not a gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw an article that said, "Does No Man's Sky still suck?" And I thought of you.
That's my follow-up question. After playing for these 13 hours, do you think somebody like maybe Zenify or Doxy would buy this game at $60?
Well, number one, you don't have to buy it at $60. One pays attention to certain channels in the chat. One could have gotten it for 24.
Yeah.
24?
Yes.
Well, did he buy it for 24?
Apparently not. So,
Because I don't know.
but anyway, you can get it right now for half off. It's $30 right now, and it's amazing. Like the update was literally bigger than the game before it. Like I think the
Really?
update itself was like between 6 and 10 gigs. Like it's huge. Like they did a lot to it. Like they could call it No Man's Sky 2, and if they were Sony, they might get away with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If they were underhanded, they could have called it.
Wait, but I thought
they are distributed by Sony.
Yeah, I was gonna say-
real multiplayer now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Much
It's a
better?
lot like Borderlands, only more
okay.
so.
Okay.
So you can have a group of 4 and you can all see each other, and then if other people are playing their game and happen to be in the same place you are, you'll see them as orbs. So it's kind of like it is in Borderlands 2, Borderlands.
But
all
you
of
can't
them.
interact with them.
With the people that aren't in your party, yes.
How's that fun?
I don't know. I've never played the game.
Well, the point is for you and your people to explore and go throughout the galaxy and do stuff. If you want to play, I think I said this last week. If you want to play a game where you want to answer the question, "What's over that hill, only in space?" This is the game for you. If you want to get involved in a giant space war and have big space battles and all that, no, that's not what this is.
Hashtag no pew pew.
Oh, there's pew pew.
Do you think they're gearing for VR?
So I keep hearing rumors that they are. I saw a couple of articles, I think it was back in March, if I remember right, that said that they would probably be doing it VR on the PlayStation first.
Yeah. Doesn't Skyrim? Is it Skyrim or what was the other one?
Oblivion?
Yeah, it's already got a VR
I think it does.
platform, right?
Yeah. They're putting Skyrim on literally everything, I think.
I bet you they can't put it on a toaster.
They put it on Alexa.
You give it a year.
Wait, what?
That's right.
They put the game on Alexa.
Yes, sir.
How do you play it? Like, Alexa, go there. Alexa, shoot that arrow.
Aw,
Are you
that's
freaking serious?
lame.
You guys are telling me with a straight face. I still don't believe you.
Really? Yeah, Alexa.
Ugh.
If it'll run on a cell phone, it'll run on Alexa.
Do they put it on a cell phone too?
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
No, I don't believe you anymore.
They do.
You had this
I-
like little laugh under your breath.
You haven't heard that it's on the phone. Yeah.
No, you had this under your breath. You're like, heh, no. Community Mike.
There we go.
So with the Alexa thing, it was an April Fool's joke.
Oh, god damn
But
it.
then they were like, sure, let's do it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, so they did it?
Yeah.
I don't believe you anymore.
I don't know who I am anymore.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
I'll research that.
Yeah, you can look at it. It's essentially like there's no actual reasoning as to why
No.
they went through with it. Like they just made a joke and then like they're like, sure, why not?
God, that's how we got Trump as president, though.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
yeah, that's exactly
how
it.
we
That's
did that
exactly
now.
it. 100% agree. So
Started out as a joke.
it did.
People kept liking it.
It's like, why not?
People kept going, wow, that's really funny. Keep doing that.
The meme of presidents, right? Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that how a meme starts?
Yeah.
Goes viral, then it
Something like
becomes a thing.
Yeah, they just memed him into president.
You're holding your tongue.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
See,
oh yeah.
I don't know if we're baiting
Yeah.
him or if we're gonna make him have like some sort of aneurysm, just like
That's why I wear the hack, so you can't see this vein right here.
sweat. Just like All right, so now everybody here at this table except for this guy is going to DEF CON, right?
Yep.
Why okay, you told us before, but why aren't you going to DEF CON?
Oh, I don't like fun.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Okay.
joking. So I used to do cons in a past life, in a past industry, and I never liked them then.
This
and I
this
don't
is
like
different
them
than
now.
furry cons.
Is it though? Is it really though?
No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
definitely not.
See, so
Oh, come on!
I mean,
Now everybody's gonna think I'm a furry.
you seen one, you've piled, you've seen them all.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
Not that furries are bad. I'm just like it's not my thing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to Comic Con?
I have not. I actually do want to go to Comic Con.
Okay. Well, okay. Do you guys think that Comic Con is becoming more like pop culture con, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
so
Sure, yeah.
Instead of having like, of course, just the superheroes and whatnot, they have like Hollywood just sends their actors and actresses to promote these shows that they have coming up, like with pilots and right. That's my perception of it.
Not even
yeah.
related to comics at all.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, Marvel characters aren't related.
Maybe no. I'm talking about like maybe loosely based. Like for instance, I could maybe see like let's say a decade ago or whatever, right? I could maybe see Buffy the Vampire Slayer cast going there, right?
But she was a comic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she was. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I stand corrected. Sorry. Okay. Don't
okay.
make me punch you.
Yeah. Well,
I-
I mean, it's nerd. No, I don't want to. It's nerd porn, so whatever.
Well,
So-
yeah, I'd want to go to Comic Con in Japan.
Oh, that'd be cool.
My.
Oh yeah, because that's gonna be more like Gundam and like anime kind.
Oh yeah. I think it'd be more fun in Japan than it would have been in San
Yeah,
Diego.
I could agree. Okay, I've never been to Japan, but I have this feeling that I'd like it.
I went to WonderCon earlier this year.
Wait, what's WonderCon?
So WonderCon, it's kind of like the smaller little brother of Comic Con. I mean, you can't necessarily buy tickets to Comic Con unless you are a member and like, I think have to go to something.
Less nerdy or more nerdy little brother?
Well, I wouldn't know. I've never been.
See,
to
but that's the
Comic-Con.
thing. Comic-Con is more pop culture now, right? So I guess WonderCon would be the smaller, more nerdy little brother, right?
Okay.
Right? I mean, if we analyze it from that perspective, no, right?
It's where people go to really nerd it up. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe you're wearing that color red of crewman number 6 uniform
No
from Star
way.
Trek episode 107.
Yeah, that's a little extreme.
Not
for
even
me.
like
Yeah.
that though. I
No,
mean,
it's,
like,
I'm sure it's not. Yeah,
they do group pictures and stuff. You know.
but and it sounds fun.
Yeah.
It's small enough for the group picture. Yeah.
It is not though. We also like had
they
a
can do a
hard
selfie,
time.
too.
Had a hard time getting through the whole thing in one fell swoop,
Yeah.
and that's 3 days. Like it was $75 for 3 days.
See,
It was big.
there are conferences I believe that can be like 3 or 4 days, and there's still plenty of things to do and
Oh,
see,
yeah.
right? For instance, DEF CON. I could do DEF CON for like 4 days, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, let the party continue. But then there are other things like, I don't know, AstraCon, which is Asterisk, Digium's con. I just don't see that being, and I don't think it is, I think it's a 2-day con, but I don't see that being stretched out to like 4 days. Like, how many different ways can you talk about a new device, I guess, specifically? I don't know. I just don't see it.
Well, we got pre-con.
Pre-con. Like pre-con pies?
No. No. we got the con before the con now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we do. So we are actually doing this for like 5 days straight. So before DEF CON, we also have, if you're going to Black Hat, cool. If you're going to B-Sides, cool. Black Hat is, you're not going unless your company's sending you, because that is an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah.
But B-Sides is free. It's first come, first serve, or you volunteered or donated. Or you're press, or you'll be pressed the day of, which is something that me and Smaction are trying. Because
Wait, I want to hear about this.
well, okay, so I completely forgot this year to apply as press. So usually I get an email, oh, hey, you're press, so here are the credentials, here's what you need to know. And I wasn't getting that email, and it was like beginning of July, and it was like mid-July, and then I was like, And then Smaction started asking me about it, and he was like, so did you get an email? And I was like, let me check. Checked, no. The last time I submitted for press was last year. I got it, but I completely spaced it this year. I will be pressed at DEF CON. But yeah, not B-Sides. But besides the point, Vic is right. So the week starts on Tuesday, and it goes all the way until Sunday. And that's something that I can really do, though. I don't know about you guys, but I can do like a 6-day hacker conference. In fact, I even took both Mondays off. I'm off that
Yep.
Monday before and the Monday after.
Yep.
And you want the Monday after off. That way you can go to the party and actually stay until 4 a.m.
For a change.
Yes. Did I tell you the story? Sorry. Did I tell you guys the story about like where I didn't make it to the party, the after party? on Sunday, and everybody in there who had my phone number. Now, let's just say that this party has a lot of phone freaks there, right? Yeah. I got my phone blown up, and text, calls, and everybody left a voicemail, by the way. So I can't. Everybody who called left a voicemail, and they were like, "Chen, you son of a bitch, where the hell are you?" And all this stuff. I forgot. Oh yeah, so I knew I had to work the next day, and yeah, it was just it was an ugly picture. PTO. Get that Monday after DEF CON off. That is my advice to you if you are going.
I agree.
Right. Do you guys have any words of advice for con going? Even though Satchel over here doesn't like going?
I hate people.
Oh, there you go.
Know what you're going for
Oh, yeah.
ahead of time.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Advice. Now, I don't think there's a Crash and Compile this year,
No,
right?
there's not. So I'm going to party it up.
Crux isn't running the Crash and Compile this year. yet.
But so then there's no Crash and Compile.
Right,
is there?
because Crux isn't running.
Yeah, he's
Crash
like,
and
oh, I'm
Compile.
doing too much.
Yeah, I'm
By
out
the
of
way,
a job this year.
Okay, yeah. Well, so what were you doing for Crash and Compile?
Team distraction.
That's right. You come around and like tickle people with feathers and do whatever?
Yeah, anything.
All right. And we're not going to have that this year.
No.
That sucks.
Uh,
Oh, you're okay? Like you're
well,
relieved?
because I'll get to Rome.
That's true. But I mean, Crash and Compile doesn't happen like the whole time.
It's like 5 hours.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you're sitting there coding. Like,
Yeah.
by the way, you don't think I forgot, or you think I forgot, but I didn't. Crux, we are still the Las Vegas Valley Hackerspace.
Are we still doing the intro?
we are. Yeah, this is still the intro.
God damn it.
By the way, remember to join us on Discord if you haven't already. We do advise that you do not use your real name. That's a shout out there for somebody. But anyway, go to Discord. Our Discord link is at our website. So remember, that's Greynoise, GREYNOI.se. Okay. So there's a story that I wanted to get into, and that was before or after we started bitching about me using Windows hotkeys, which is something else we can get into. But this
We're
is
not using them.
or for not using them.
Not understanding the
Or not
value of
knowing
them.
them.
Or not-
He's not properly valuing them.
Or not. Yeah, that's right. And we can talk about that and how badly I use Windows and mice or a mouse. But I want to talk about
Basic
this story.
functions.
Yeah, basic functions
Basic
of a Windows
functions,
computer.
yeah.
You guys,
Here we go. We move forward. Sorry.
no, actually, let's talk about that really quick.
Okay.
So we're already talking about it. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Linux admin, okay? And I quite literally use my laptop, the one that's recording the show and live streaming it right now, okay? I literally use it, it's a Windows 10 box, as a launching pad for my Linux terminals. So I open up MT Putty, I open up whatever I need, and I'm in a Linux terminal or I have a browser open. Nothing involved with the mouse. And so when we were getting the show prepared, Zenify started calling me an asshole for not knowing how to search for things in Windows. I'm sorry. I'm used to having a command line and just asking the computer with my fingers. With all of them, not just one pointy finger.
Asshole might be a little strong.
No, but that's what he was calling me. He even used the
Jackass
F word.
maybe.
Well, he even used the
Asshat?
F. He's like, you fucking... No. What?
Ass hat.
Yeah.
I'm
there
an
you go.
asshat for not using Windows properly.
I was just feeding into.
Oh, you were just feeding
Yeah.
the Satch. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that.
Hey, I get hungry.
Okay. Now, Vic,
Not true.
do you
I have no
use
idea what
Windows?
that means.
Yeah, I have
At
to.
work, right?
Yeah, I have to. At
It's
work.
like a requirement.
Yeah.
But do you use your mouse?
I try not to.
Try not to, right?
Yeah. Or some web apps you just can't get around because developers are shit.
Yeah.
As he takes a drink of his
That
beer and
is
says, I'll drink to
true.
that.
Yes.
One thing I want to try that you were suggesting earlier was having that cheat sheet of hotkeys on the side of your desk. And as you reach for the mouse, you see that poster of hotkeys, and you're like, okay, let me try that instead.
You will be much faster on a laptop if you do that.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And for a while, and I'm talking about like back in like the Windows 99 days.
Windows 99. Everyone loved
Yeah.
that version.
No,
That was awesome. That was the best version.
It was in between 98 SE and Millennium.
No, actually. So I called Windows 98 SE. I call that Windows 99 because that was between Windows 98 and
Now you're making stuff up.
Okay, fine. No,
fake
but,
news.
but it was around there. So my PS2 mouse broke, and I didn't have a spare. And of course, this is before I was a professional, so I had no means to get a mouse. And
What? No, I'm good. I'm good. No, it's just the. Hi.
He doesn't believe that I'm a professional.
No, you're saying he can't believe you couldn't afford a mouse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
they were like $10, right? No, so I didn't have a mouse, and so for a good, I would say 2 weeks, I was working on Windows with nothing but a keyboard. That was then, and this is now, and that's been what 20 years.
Most of the shortcuts haven't really changed that
No.
much.
Yeah, but if I'm not using them on a daily basis, it's not going to be like, oh, let me just pull that from memory.
Yeah.
So was it a PS2 mouse or it wasn't a USB mouse?
No, it was
Yeah,
definitely a PS2 mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember
Yeah.
the old serial mouses?
Oh yeah,
9-pin?
yeah, yeah, yeah. God, that's why the boxes ran hot, because the whole thing was like nothing but the inputs.
That's not why.
No, I know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Jeez, guys, never take me seriously. Okay, look at me. I'm Master Chen. I'm not.
You have to start yours with a hand crank?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Coal fired.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's my gripe about the Windows not using mouse. Or me not using mouse on Windows. No more.
Your gripe about you not using the mouse on Windows.
No, that's my gripe about Zenify's gripe about me not using mouse on a window.
Now his gripe is you didn't know how to use Windows.
I know.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of, yeah.
Actually, yeah, he was like, "Oh my god, dude, click the fucking Windows Explorer icon at the bottom of the tray."
Click. What do you say? Click the fucking
Yeah,
manila
yeah,
envelope.
click.
Manila envelope, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Zenify, just nod. That's what you said, right? Yeah, okay.
Can confirm.
Okay, now I want to go on to the story that...
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Okay, so this is according to Engadget, and by the way, this story was brought to us by Mr. T85. Hey, dude, thank you for the story. This is really interesting. The article, the title is, Idaho inmates hacked prison tablets and stole $225,000. Did you guys hear this story?
Yeah, you told us earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, now you heard it.
I didn't, so, you know.
Okay, so I was just reading it over so that I actually had some facts in my head before I talked about the story. So again, this article was brought to me by Mr. T85, so again, $225,000, and what they did was they're using JPay tablets. So I'm guessing JPay is the application, of course. I'm not sure what type of tablet it's running on top of. I'm not sure if it's like an Apple tablet or it's probably Android. I'm going to say it's probably Android, right?
Most likely Eclair.
Right. So this was
Or two.
Yeah, maybe.
So this was a system that was implemented in at least 5 prisons across that state, and about 364 inmates. Among all of them, were able to steal $225,000 worth of credit on these JPay tablets. Now, what these credits are used for, of course, in the prison system, you can buy snacks, music, movies, maybe news articles. You can buy all these things, and your loved ones can give you money off of this crediting system. They can send whatever, like $200, and that is the same as whatever credit, right? I'm not sure if it's a one-to-one type of system, but they can give you money essentially to use while you're on the inside. I've never been to prison. I don't know what kind of slang they use, right?
Not that.
Oh, obviously I wouldn't do well there. So, of course, the people who were responsible have apparently, according to the article, been reprimanded and punished accordingly, however you want to say it. But I'm bringing this article because I find it interesting that, well, we have hackers everywhere, right? I mean, if you're gonna find a way around the system, right? Do you guys have
Yeah,
any
if there's
thoughts?
a system to exploit, someone's going to exploit it. Sure.
Exactly, and this is kind of just like a case study of that happening. So, do you guys have any thoughts on this? Or you guys, or you satchels?
You satchels?
Do you satchels have any
Used satchels.
used satchels?
Damn. That name just gets worse and worse, doesn't it? Okay, so
You don't like the name anymore?
no, well, it's fine. So the big thing I have with it is like I don't know, like I'm not particularly outraged that someone stole fake company store points.
Right. So I
It's like, yeah, all
agree.
right,
I'm not
cool.
particularly outraged either. And I'm not okay. Look, I'm not condoning this behavior necessarily, but look, a hacker is a hacker is a hacker is a hacker. They found a way around the system and they used it. So now it's on you as the system provider to, fix the exploit or plug up the holes or whatever. You can't be mad at the person who necessarily finds the vulnerability or finds the exploit. You can't be mad at them.
Right.
Well, apparently,
okay, they can be mad
These
at them.
people you can be mad at, and that's that
I
kind
know
of sucks.
that's the point. It does kind of suck. So thoughts, guys?
I mean, did they know how to do it before they got into prison, or did they learn how to do it in prison?
Well, I don't think there's any JPay
they
devices.
have
out-
libraries.
Well, I'm pretty sure JPay is a service out there, and if you kind of Google for it, it'll pop up what it is. So basically, JPay is a credit debit situation.
Yeah.
And what it is. So, yeah, they figured out a way to be able to game the system, but you gave a bunch of money machines to thieves. You said, here's some way that you can have money in prison and talk to your friends and do things. And they have nothing else to do.
See, and that
They have all the time in the world. And that's really what makes a good hacker is that they have a lot of time on their hand to
Thank
sit
you.
there
On the
and
nose.
see what's going
on the
and-
nose. And now I don't know, of course, of these 364 inmates. I don't. And by the way, the drain on the credit was anywhere from $10,000 to $1,000 at a time, but
Sure.
it totaled $225,000.
So what kind of test environment do you think they subjected these things to before they rolled them out to the general population?
Right, and that's again the onus is on the person providing the system. But so there's a couple of things here. We don't know the caliber of inmate, right? They're just 364 unmanned inmates, so we don't know.
Idahoans.
Huh?
Idahoans.
Well, okay. We don't even know if they're necessarily from Idaho, though, right? They could have committed the crime in Idaho. They could have whatever, but we don't know if they're murderers, thieves. We don't know what kind of crime they've committed.
Now they're hackers.
Yes, exactly. But now they're hackers. Well, hackers not being a term for crime. I don't want to equate that. But what I do want to say, though, you said it, is that if you given enough time, given enough idle time, everybody becomes a hacker, because what else is there to do? And based off of what crime they've committed, they can be in there anywhere from a couple of months, a couple of years, to life sentences. What else are they going to do? It's not like they're going to be being released anytime soon, assuming that they're life sentencers. So why not? So why not see what you can get into? It's not like you can. I don't see you getting into anything worse.
Yeah.
Maybe solitary confinement, but I mean.
Yeah, I put the games back on our Microsoft machines, and a number of misconfiguration calls I got went down because people quit messing around with stuff. They were playing games and they weren't trying to screw with the operating system.
So you're saying that the games were like their little jail where they get to mess with things and.
Well, they gave them something to do, and then they quit messing with the machines, and so the misconfigure issues went down.
Or is it that now they don't care if they can't access their email? They've got Minesweeper.
Yeah, that happens, but mostly it's they quit messing around because they got something to distract them.
Yeah.
Ooh, shiny. Yeah.
Tech Savvy, do you have anything you want to say on the matter?
Well, I mean, it's not like it's real money.
Yeah, actually it is.
What?
Yeah, actually it
They're
is.
credits.
Well, so, if you have somebody in prison, you give them like $50 or $100 so they can buy stuff at the commissary like toothpaste and chips. And so it actually is attached to real money. And so when they go to the commissary and they spend those credits for the stuff in the commissary, the company, who is
JPay.
JPay.
Yeah.
JPay actually pays the commissary at the prison the actual real money. So just because it's not real money that they stole, it's connected to real money.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so they took out big chunks, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
it's not like they did this thinking we're gonna get away with it.
Well,
Maybe they did.
well,
but
now my question is, would they have gotten away with it if they maybe stole $5 at a time to maybe buy a bag of chips or?
That's the way to do it.
Well, wouldn't you like put it onto your worst enemies, JPay, just to see what would happen?
Ooh, man, I like the way Vic thinks.
Oh.
He's like, here, I'm going to do this, and then we'll give it to him. Now, why would he hack this thing? Okay.
Yeah, it looks like this guy single-handedly, by himself, took $225,000 of prison
and
credit.
he's sitting there with a bag of chips, like,
Yeah.
why?
Right? Oh man.
Yeah, the digital shank right there.
Kind of.
Oh my God. I think I found the title for this episode, Digital Shank.
Digital
man.
shank.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good. Yep, we've titled the episode. What episode are we on? 155, right?
Yep, digital shank.
All right, awesome. All right, any more thoughts on the matter? I think we had another.
I really don't mind them stealing, actually.
No,
Because
okay. Why not?
it's modern day slavery in the first freaking place. You're compelling these people to work. They ain't really getting paid. They can steal, as far as I'm concerned.
I understand where you're coming
That's
from.
me. If it was for rehabilitation and not for just punishment, then I'd be more like, hey, you shouldn't do that. But
Okay, fair. Opinion on the matter, that's fair.
yeah,
Um,
that's all.
Right. And I know that we can get into a debate about
yeah.
the prison system. We're not going to do that on this episode, but I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Any other last opinions on the matter? No, we're good to go? All right, cool. Well, that's the article that I brought. Do you guys have anything else in the news? Vic said sysadmin day. We've kind of already discussed that.
Oh, so I found that like Google bans cryptocurrency mining apps from the Play Store.
Is that new? Or
Yeah.
So is that cryptocurrency apps that are cryptocurrency apps, or is that like, here's a flashlight app, and in the background it's doing cryptocurrency?
That
Okay.
they want that gone.
Well, good.
Actually, I think they're just blanketing it
Oh, bad.
across the board. So.
Why is my flashlight running at 100% CPU usage?
That's weird.
And I have a 2-hour battery life.
2 hours. That's not much crypto.
Actually, so okay. Speaking of battery, and I'm not trying to derail the story. That's an interesting story, but
But here-
no. But here's the tangent. No, speaking of batteries that or apps that take up your battery, Fitbit, the Fitbit app, had a. I don't know if they fixed it. They have a flaw where they have the app running constantly. If you want to do like a constant sync to your Fitbit, where it's taking up 12% of your CPU, and your at least for me personally, I have the Samsung Note 8. The CPU usage was constantly at 12%, even when idling, and my battery usage went to about 6 hours before it needed to go and be recharged. So I talked to Akeen about that, and he gave me a nice word of advice, which was, if something like that happens, it's usually an app that's running and taking your battery. So yeah, ever since I've turned off, now I didn't uninstall the app, but I did turn off all day sync, and I just sync whenever I open up the app and check on things when I want to see if I got my beauty rest, because I did, by the way. Anyway, yeah. So FYI, if something's killing your battery, it's that. It's an app or cryptocurrency.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess, it's going to take them some time because there's millions upon millions of apps in the Play Store.
Are they all mining the same currency?
I mean, just cryptocurrency, right, in
Oh, sorry,
general. So
different
what
coins.
happens, so what I can imagine what happens, because I was thinking of doing this myself for a program that I was designing. Anyway, so...
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You were going to be part of the problem.
Yeah,
You were going to kill my battery.
I talked to Super Dave, and he's like, legally gray area. And I'm like, okay, fine.
But could it work?
But in
It
theory,
could. It does, obviously, because Google's getting rid of it, right? So, you just when you create code, and then you can hide your code, right? So, you just hide it in the code.
No, well, the thing is, if it's an open source app, you can't hide your code. I mean, you can obfuscate it.
Right, but how
then
many of those are
anybody? I mean, you have people who are doing
Not what they tried.
like malware analysis, right? Like that's their job, is to look for these types of techniques
Right.
that you might want to try. You might not want to try.
No.
Okay, but you have people who analyze that, and I mean, their sole job is to find anomalies in the way code is maybe properly written, right?
Yeah. I mean, when a company like the size of Google makes a blanket decision like this, it's not all gonna be good. It's not gonna all benefit them.
You're talking about
Something's-
the blanket ban.
Yeah. There's gonna be backlash from somewhere.
I don't know why you would want to run cryptocurrency apps. Like, legitimately, like, I'm going to mine Bitcoin on my Android phone. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
but
It's
are
many
they?
devices across.
But are
No,
they
no,
mining?
oh.
Are they just mining, or are they also going after the Bitcoin wallets?
No, they're just mining.
Oh, okay.
They're actually utilizing the CPU of many phones. I mean, it's like
Right.
No, I'm saying the ban from Google is
Oh.
is the wallets and the miners, or is it just anything to do with crypto?
I think
it's
it's
just-
I think it's just the miners.
Yeah.
Because like they would have
Well, they're under 18, so
yeah.
no.
but
they shouldn't be playing with that anyway.
Yes, Satchel. There, you get one. Okay,
Like
man,
that,
you get one.
And I waited.
Yeah, you waited. Actually, you did wait. All right.
Got up in the
Today you sniped that one. I'll give you that
there
one.
you go.
No, but like for instance, Coinbase is a wallet app. They're not going to ban that. They're probably not going to ban what's another one like Dwala.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Dwala.
Yeah, Dwala. Right. Because these are wallets. They're not miners.
It's just mining apps.
Okay, good.
Okay, so
Yeah, well, I don't see a reason to have a mining app on a phone.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
oh, we have community mic.
So if you remember a while back, maybe you don't, and this is not the Android app, but there's, I believe, the Slate website. One of the things that they were trying to detract from because people were putting ad blockers in, it's like, fine, you have an ad blocker running, you want to read our site, we're going to run a crypto miner in the background.
Ooh.
dun, dun,
Yeah,
So they
that's
were
very
doing
cool.
JavaScript. They were doing JavaScript miners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing. Because they're like, we got to make money somehow. You're blocking ads.
So,
Now, I think there was enough backlash. I think they stopped it, right?
Yeah. In 3 days they stopped.
Yeah,
it.
they stopped
yeah.
When you piss off the internet, they'll hate you in 3 days or less.
that actually leads me into a thing that Zenify and I were talking about earlier this week. And it's like when the whole store cards thing came out, right? You know, get your grocery shopper card. I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to enter in all of my stuff into a database where you can do marketing stuff. I'm going to pay with my credit card and then I'm just going to leave. You know, so you go through all this stuff and it's like I can't tell you how much free food I've passed up at Panera just because I used to live down the street from one and I used to go by there every day before work. Do you want our Panera card? No, I don't. Go away. You know, blah, blah, blah. I did that for so many years and finally I'm just like, what was I doing all that for? Because like I said, I'm paying for it with my credit card. Bank of America is not holding that back. You know?
Well, credit card institutions have made some very strong statements recently about how they will not sell that information.
They will not.
They will not.
Okay, well, there's that at least. So there's one.
But the stuff like
23andMe.
23andMe, but Home Depot,
Yeah.
they definitely, when you use that credit card, they tag the name, they pull the data off of the credit card when you swipe.
Oh, wonderful.
And they put that, and if they can get you to give you an email,
Oh, yeah.
they'll do that too. And so next time you go pay, they go, hey, do you want this, blah, 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 because they know who you are, and they sell to you right at the register.
And
Right.
they get you every time with that question. Would you like to email the receipt?
Yep.
No, I would not.
I'm like, yeah, but my email is such. I'm kidding. No, it's not. Community mic.
So I came up with the one comment, and then you just mentioned something. So the first one with the whole credit cards making stances about not, it's definitely something more recently. A lot of people are advocating the use of credit cards due to the buyer protection that it's
Right.
there. Because, I mean, like, you use your debit card, you go down to the store, they get your number, it gets charged somewhere. It's infinitely harder. This is mainly in the U.S., but, like, the credit system, it uses like pretty much a trust system where you can pretty much go to your credit be like, I did not make this charge, and they'll be like,
Okay.
within reasonable. If they're like, really, because there's a bunch of charges that you normally make around that time, but if it's like out of the blue, they're like, okay, deducted,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
and it's something where like because of that, and I've watched a couple stuff where a lot of people are talking about like they were never told this growing up or anything, because there was a stigma about using credit cards, but nowadays like, especially with credit becoming more important just to become like get more expensive things, it's something where by using your credit card more and by making it more attractive to a younger audience, it becomes something where selling information maybe isn't worth the increased crowds who are going to be using your products. And now when it comes to the whole asking for your email, I used to work at Staples.
Mm-hmm.
Did they do the
terrible.
Did they do
Oh,
the
they
thing
did.
with the Home Depot?
They,
Yeah,
it
they
literally
did.
essentially becomes like, because what it comes down to is not many people check their mail for ads. Not many people read newspaper for ads. In fact, when I was working there, the Staples was cutting the amount that they were putting into local newspapers, focusing only on the emails. So for a lot of these stores, that's becoming their main focus for getting ads and getting people back into the store. And for those who did come into our store, the email ads that we get because we got their credit cards to send receipts and stuff, that was a big driver. And that's how come they push for it. Whether or not you want to give it, that's a different thing. But it's definitely, it's becoming how retail is one of the ways they're staying somewhat relevant in a, you can go online and buy everything you'll ever need.
So Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, compared to brick and mortar stores.
You went the direction I was about to go. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you
Well,
now.
yeah, read your terms of your credit card because there's a lot of good protections that you get with that credit card.
Yep.
And if anything that you don't want to replace or something that you might not, you might have financial trouble with, like you want to take back, do it on a credit card. You get a lot of protections. A lot of them, like you buy electronics, like televisions and stuff like that, on some credit cards.
Yeah.
It comes automatically with a 3-year warranty.
Damn.
Just because you're using credit card.
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. So again, now. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, but I guess where I was headed with that though is it worth the amount of crap that we go through to, like, for instance, setting up a pie hole, right? Granted, for you guys, for most of the people at this table, it's not that big of a deal, right? It's okay. Put the thing on the Raspberry Pi and I plug it into my network and we're done.
Yeah,
But
that's exactly how it happened.
I know, but for most people, it's a bigger deal. Like for someone's mom or dad or whatever, you know, for someone that's not computer,
Savvy.
computer savvy. There you go, not tech savvy, if you will. It's a little bit more than that. I guess where I'm going from with this is what's so damn bad about seeing the ads in the first place, like. You know what I mean? Like, just playing the devil's advocate.
And
here.
there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You have just seen somebody who has given up.
No, I've done gave up for like months.
I done gave up.
I done
gave up years ago.
I'm a little country.
I know you're
little country.
Yeah, I know. I got you.
No, but what I'm saying is, I've been saying for the longest time that we're in a post-security world.
No, we're a post-privacy world.
Post-privacy. Okay, there you go.
We're not post-security. We're post-privacy.
I'll go along with that.
I guarantee there's a huge chunk of banks and government who are very much secure.
Fair enough. Okay.
They just don't want us to be secure.
Right.
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 And so we're post-privacy, and that privacy is being sold, but it's becoming less valuable. 5 years ago, Google, the amount of information they collected on you was worth about $18 a year. That's what they would collect off of it. It's down somewhere around $7 now.
That's how much your information is valued at.
That's correct.
Now, why is that?
It's because it's so ubiquitous. It's
Oh,
everybody
just out there.
It's just out there.
Out there and
Yeah.
open, right?
In order to collect something new that would be a point of leverage to be able to sell is rare now,
Right.
and it's getting rarer.
So what happens when that dollar amount gets below where Google's still making a ton of money?
No, I'm not sure.
That would be interesting.
Then you have to start paying for Android, I guess.
I'm no longer interested.
Well,
I'm still interested.
That'll be something else.
Well, right now, in terms of services, a lot of things says that if you block or modify the data that's being delivered, let's say you sign up for a service for like a registered newspaper or a website or something like this, one part of the term services says you're not supposed to block or change what is delivered in the content.
I'm not blocking or changing it. I'm just sending it somewhere else.
You're
right?
blocking the delivery of the content.
Well, because my eyes aren't seeing it, right?
Yeah, that's delivering.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so there's terms of service already there now. And I guarantee you they are ramping up and throwing a ton of money at being able to discover how you're doing this.
My network is getting the data. My eyes might not be getting the data, but my network's
You're
getting the
correct,
data.
sir. With how that works, that is correct.
See? There you go. I'm not breaking any rules. Community Mike.
Prove
To
it.
give you an idea of how much that's worth to Google, Google pays every year, I think actually 2 years ago, it was close to $3 billion to Apple to be the primary search engine in Safari.
On their
And
phones,
the phone.
right? Be
Yes.
the default primary search engine. That's
Exactly.
correct,
You can change it, but they pay $3 billion a year to Apple. That was at least in 2016 figures I saw.
Yeah, they paid a huge amount to Firefox as well
Yep.
to be the primary search engine
Yep.
for a long time.
But I mean, are you really going to use Bing? I mean, are you really?
Exactly.
Are you really?
Is anyone
What search engine is there other than Google that works?
DuckDuckGo.
It does not work.
Oh, well.
It doesn't.
Doesn't work. What do you mean? Well,
It
How do
doesn't.
you
Well,
want
it,
it
doesn't it doesn't bring you relevant search results.
That's correct. Yeah. Especially on tech issues. If you're searching for tech information, like, hey, how the hell do I fix this weird problem? It's not going to find it. You type the same information into Google, it's right in front of you. So
I always follow it with Reddit, and that pretty much does it.
it usually leads to Reddit, yeah.
Oh, so I Googled this and I went to Reddit. I was going to go to Reddit anyway, but I just want to Google it first. Community Mike.
I will second that DuckDuckGo doesn't work at all for tech information. I've had engineers who that work for me that continue to insist on using DuckDuckGo, and they could not solve problems. I had to finally threaten to fire them if they stopped. And I was like, I had to tell them, I'm going to fire you if you don't start using a real search engine, because they were so far behind in getting stuff done. Because they could not figure it out, because they could not find answers, because it was that bad at finding answers.
It's worse than HP search. You can't ever find any information about how to fix an HP product on an HP website, but you can Google it and find it every time.
But that's not just HP though, man.
No, well, HP is especially garbage.
Okay,
it is freaking garbage.
Fair. All right, Community Mike again.
So this goes back into like machine learning and AI and all this other shit, right? It doesn't matter how good your algorithms are. It's all about data, right? That's why Google is so good.
Data,
They're one of the first search engines. They have the most amount of data, right? Back when people are like harping on Apple Maps because they're like, this thing sucks, it's because they had no data, right? And that's where like autonomous driving is right now. Autonomous driving cars need data, right? You can change the algorithms, you make it any better, but if you have no data, it's going to suck. So it's this race to collect all this shit, right? Google's way ahead of the game with Maps, right? That's why Maps is awesome. They have the most amount of data.
And they bought Waze, too.
And they bought Waze, right. Yeah. So they're just buying data. They don't give a shit about the technology of Waze. They don't give a shit if you're collecting candy while you're driving on the fucking road.
Which is kind of fun.
It is kind of fun. But, they want to see accident information and all this other bullshit. Right. That's what they're getting.
It's collecting candy plus there's a cop ahead. That's what
And the autonomous driving point is very relevant. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, but every CAPTCHA that gets served up by Google servers lately has been identify cars,
is this
identify
a car?
roads. Is this a road sign? There's a reason.
Goodness.
Absolutely.
I didn't realize.
Actually, it reminds me, there is a good XKCD out there, and you can probably find it. It's basically a picture, and it says, please let me know, or please state here if you see a stop sign ahead. You have 5 seconds before the car crashes.
Oh, man. I love XKCD.
Well, what they're finding out is that the bulk of what they need to teach the self-driving cars is what they can ignore. Because as you're driving down the road, you only need to concentrate on about 10% of the input information that you're getting by everything that's going by the car. And so they need to, this isn't relevant, and that has to be 100% though. That it's not relevant.
Man, I bet they get screwed up here.
So,
Coming from the Midwest, oh my God, the first week or so.
It's the best place to learn how to avoid pedestrians.
It's the worst place to learn how to keep your eyes on the road.
So right now the autonomous vehicles are in the stage of squirrel,
problem.
squirrel. Is that
Cars
important?
won't
Squirrel.
have that problem.
Yeah, that's true.
And again, Community Mike.
Well, if you notice, all the autonomous driving testing that's being done are in good weather states. Autonomous driving cannot do things like if there's snow-covered roads, can't see lanes, can't see signs, can't see things like that right
People can't either.
Yeah, people can.
Good point.
I'd argue that.
Great.
I'd argue that even in the bad weather, you'd still have a better chance.
But he could follow a semi-truck.
Oh, that was too soon, Community Mike. That was too soon.
I wasn't talking about I wasn't talking about the crashing. I was talking about people following semis in bad weather, right?
To minimize the wind, right?
Drafting.
Get right up on the end.
Well, no,
that
to
too,
see where to
drafting.
go, like if you're in snow or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I gotcha.
That's fair.
That's why I drive behind semis.
Just you're drafting.
Just don't. Just don't tailgate them, right?
Well, you
You
have to.
you have to be
if
within
you're
100 feet of
drafting.
them.
Which is not that bad.
No, but I mean, you're not tailgating them, where you're riding their
not
ass.
Bumper to bumper. or anything.
You're close enough to smell them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not safe.
All right. Community Mike again.
So talking about the autonomous vehicles, there's actually George or Gregory, I can't remember how his name, Hotz. He's the famous.
Oh, George Hotz. Yeah, he
jail,
hacked the
Comma
iPhone,
Inc. Yeah,
PS2, yeah.
He brings his vehicle to Vegas, one because of the very lax laws and because he was getting in trouble in California, though he wasn't actually getting any cease and desist. He was being told he was going to. He drives his, and he was surprised at how well it works. His system obviously works a bit different than your traditional Tesla and stuff.
I know he has a prototype out. Is he trying to compete with Tesla?
He was, and then he was going to get in trouble, so he instead is now just selling the parts to turn. It's only 2 vehicles right now that already have like upgraded sensory packages that he then just plugs into, sets up like just 2 cameras essentially, and then it just learns as you drive. And it's essentially something where it changes your car that was already pretty smart to begin with into an even smarter car with semi-autonomous abilities. And it's something where he brought it to Vegas, and the first time he ever really drove it in Vegas, he actually had the camera crew from Bloomberg in his vehicle, and the biggest thing for him was the dots, because with our lanes, we don't, most of the time it's not actual paint, it's those reflective dots. Besides twilight, when obviously the sun's not exactly at a good point, neither are all the lights. Besides that point, it worked pretty well in Vegas. Obviously, he probably kept away from, I think they went on the strip for a little while, but they stuck away from residential areas. But it's something where, depending on where you want to market your vehicle, why not stay away from areas that are already dangerous? Because when it comes down to it, when you're driving a vehicle, 80% of it is trusting that the people around you aren't going to do something stupid. It's why we can get away with just paying attention to 10% of the input, because I have faith that that vehicle right there isn't going to suddenly swerve.
10%.
Exactly. It's a collective thing where, like, I'm assuming he's not going to swerve into me and crash me. I mean, hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, we have our traffic pretty segregated. All cars pretty much where you're at, all the cars of where your car is at is moving in the same direction you are.
Yeah, which is funny. So when I moved here, I had to retake the DMV test. And there's actually a law stating, essentially, you have to stay the speed of the traffic. And it specifically is worded in a way that if everyone's going 20 miles over the speed limit, you're going to go 20 miles over the speed limit, not to disrupt anything.
Yeah.
God, I wish everybody followed that law.
Oh my god! Especially in the left lane.
Oh my god!
All right, Satchel. I'm getting you mad there. Now, we started this bit of the conversation when we were talking about credit cards. So, to kind of bring that back just a little bit, the only thing I want to say when it comes to credit card usage and utilization is, I really wish that a lot of people approached credit cards the way you approach other things. At least here in our community, very analytical, right? Like, when we were kids, we were taught that using credit cards are bad, right? But I would rather use the credit card somewhere, maybe sketchy or whatever. I want to use the credit card more so, of course, than my debit card. And so we were talking earlier about that kind of protection, that buyer protection.
Yeah.
And so if you use it responsibly, I encourage you to use credit cards. And there are things that you can do, like zero balance transfers, or there are things that you can do so you don't get like really deep into the hole. And they say use credit responsibly. They mean it. Use the credit responsibly. So,
yeah, just don't buy what you can't afford to pay off right now.
Exactly. So, again, I just wish that more people approached it with that kind of analytical thinking instead of credit cards are bad, get away from me. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as they pay off a card, there are people who they'll pay off a card and then they cancel the card.
Worst thing you can do.
Yeah,
Exactly, because then
terrible.
the credit utilization goes back down, and so your utilization or your percentage of utilization goes up, where you want to keep that under 30%. And of course, now I'm getting into details, but closing the account is the worst thing you can do. It screws up your age of credit, it screws up your credit utilization, and whatnot. Now, what that has to do with driving cars, I don't know, but I didn't know what driving cars had to do with credit. So there you go.
How did we get on that? That's a good one.
Well, we were talking about collecting data and then AI and machine learning.
Oh,
and that's
that
where
reminds
that
me.
Yeah, it was Akeem's fault.
Yeah, it was Keen's fault. Where's Keen?
We probably don't have time.
Oh, yeah.
Are we
okay.
going to end up? Yeah, let's end it. Yeah.
No, what were you talking about?
Well, what I was going to say is we were talking about gathering data, and that was actually one of the reasons why Google rolled out the Street View. It wasn't so much about taking the pictures as much as it was getting map data that they didn't have to pay someone else for. Because in the beginning, Google Maps had to pay...
Like what, MapQuest?
I don't know if it was MapQuest or I'm forgetting the name. I'm blanking on the name. But basically, they wanted to stop paying them to use their data. And so that was one of the...
Or was it Garmin or one of those navigation
TomTom.
device? TomTom. Was it TomTom?
No, I don't think it was TomTom or Garmin, but
No.
I remember it was
Or
like
Magellan.
It might be.
Keywords.
I'm pretty sure it was MapQuest.
Okay.
Was it MapQuest?
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a limited Street View.
Yeah.
And Microsoft, what was their map?
Streets and Trips.
Yeah.
I lived and died by Streets and Trips for like 3 years, man, when I was on the road for a major commercial business.
Wow.
Yeah, they have. Biggest thing I liked about them is that you could do a 45-degree angle and look around a building with that.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice.
Now, I used to be driving the van. I'd have the laptop over here and the little GPS thing stuck up there. Oh, yeah.
Wow, you were like all there.
It was ye old school. This is
Ye old school.
06.
Oh wow! You know it's funny
Yeah.
how we're 2006 is ancient.
Well, yeah, it's
Yeah.
pre-cell. It was pre-smartphone.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
Smartphone was 2007, and you know what's funny? YouTube was 2004, which means that when I had to search for videos, I said this in another podcast before, but when I had to search for videos in high school, it wasn't just go to YouTube and find it. It was search somewhere on the internet for that video that you saw of the dog barfing on the wedding dress or whatever. It was so.
Yeah.
All right. Did the community mic have something to say? No, forgot it. All right.
Gone now.
Then let's go ahead and move on to the lightning round. It
Here we
is
go.
about that time. So now the lightning round, please forgive me. I am researching straight from the mobile phone, which is also recording the episode, right? No, I'm kidding. So yeah, I'm not going to see a lot of taglines on here. So I'm going to infer that I know exactly what I'm talking about with this. So for those of you who
Just
do
like
not,
at the furry cons.
just like in FurryCon.
Yeah. Wait until September and they all come in.
Wait,
Is there
that
seriously?
what
There's one here?
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
I,
one.
should,
that's right.
I totally want to go.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
I want to go.
yeah. As soon as I start.
I don't want to be in a costume.
You want to be in a cuddle party?
No. I
It's
I
a
used to do that
cuddle puddle?
professionally.
Cuddle pedal?
Cuddle puddle. Yeah.
Right.
They call it cuddle puddle.
Yeah, I thought-
What if
I
you went
thought
to a
it was-
FurryCon
I thought it was
as
Yif
a
pile
cuddle
or something
fish?
like that.
Yeah,
Yiffin is
Well,
Griffin.
fishes aren't furry.
Okay, fair.
That would be hilarious if you went to a
What?
I went to a
furry
FurryCon as a
and-
cuttlefish?
As a Oh my
Ooh,
god.
what about a centaur?
I'm a cuttlefish.
I'm Frank the Fish.
Okay,
That would be
okay.
hilarious.
For those of you,
All right, anyway.
for those of you who do not know what the lightning round is, we are going to zdnet.com/topic/security. We are going to read a couple of the headlines here and give our tweet's length, which now is 240 characters. Which, by the way, I did a long tweet the other day.
Yeah?
And I was surprised at how many words I can put there now. Anyway,
right.
so let's give our tweet's length of an opinion. Who wants to go first?
Wait,
Satchel, you've been voluntold.
I did it last week. All right, go ahead.
All right, here we go. First article. India desperately needs a delayed data privacy law.
No jokes there. Nope.
Nope,
I
nope.
don't see one. Nope. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure.
Well, I don't know what they mean by delayed data privacy law. Vic, you want to take a crack at this?
Oh yeah, so they've had a number of vigilante murders.
Oh.
Basically, they'll get onto Snapchat or some other multiple system out there, and they'll start accusing somebody of something that they think they did, and a group of 100 people will show up and literally beat them to death.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's not just one occurrence. It's been like 11, 12 times in the last month.
Fucking
didn't
mob
know
justice.
And so
about
they
that.
need to they're trying to cut down this, and they actually like stop more than if you try to send a message to more than 5 people, it'll prevent you from doing that. And so they've tried to cut down on the tree, the tree effect, where you couldn't tell 100 people like, hey, meet me on this corner because we're going to kill this guy.
Yeah, but you can call 2 friends and they
Yeah,
can call
yeah.
2 friends.
But yeah, they're having a serious problem over there right now with this,
That's
and especially in southern India right now.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow, mob justice.
Super glad I didn't make a joke about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going, yeah, don't do that.
Do they not know about trolls and how to avoid them and ignore them? Like, come on.
Do we?
Do we?
Well, I mean, we feed in, but we're
So-
not going to come as a mob.
So
Well, that's.
it's
well,
about, and it's.
just on a Southwest flight.
A couple of these have been like somebody's been mean to a cow, and that's taken very serious.
Yeah, because it's a
Yeah.
secret.
It's very serious.
Yeah,
So,
right,
but
right.
yeah, that's what's happened, and it's. But there's been other things that's got this up and running, but it's been escalating for about last 6-8 weeks now.
Fuck, we should have been talking about this. All right, next article. Now this one's really going to piss me off if it doesn't work afterwards. Internet of Things, Samsung patches the Smart Things Hub flaws.
You know, actually, I patched that a long time ago by not buying anything made by Samsung.
Yeah, I should have maybe done that. Vic.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. It'll be fixed, I hope.
Any minute now.
It'll be fixed until they update it again.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's
God
just like
damn it.
Microsoft.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Samsung is going to have their own Patch Tuesdays.
Ever since Windows 99, it's just been downhill ever since.
Windows 99.
Yeah.
All right. You can't- Never mind. All right, next one. New Spectre attack can remotely steal secrets, researchers say.
What secrets? We're all data mined now. Sorry.
Oldest trick in the book. Third time this week.
Get smart.
I knew you'd get it. That was for you.
Yeah.
That was for you. And only you, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know things. That's why I do this podcast.
no
so
one,
you guys can
no
tell
one
me.
remembers Get Smart.
Nope.
Oh, I love to get smart.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Spectre was the bad guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a kid, but
Wait, I thought Spectre was the
getcha.
bad guy, the bad organization in the James Bond movies.
Well, Inspector, sure.
No, Spectre was the name of the.
It was the name of the movie too.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
But in the 60s, like.
it was going good.
Maybe
for
I
a
just
second.
don't know enough about James Bond. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Man from Uncle, the bad guys were named Scarab. And if you saw the movie, the last 4 minutes of that movie actually gives you about 4 Easter eggs about Scarab.
huh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch The Man from Uncle again. It's on my YouTube TV.
So the problem with this is that how they're going to fix this or not fix it.
Because this is the problem with the processor, right?
Right. It's all they're talking about firmware updates. It's going to kill like 40% of the processor speed.
Yeah. So basically, your i7 is now an i3. Or,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's what they're talking about right now because it's basically that implementation of like look ahead where it's like we predict that this is going to happen next, so it runs
Yeah,
that information
runs
and
that
caches
process,
it.
yeah.
So what the secrets are going to steal is everything that's cached to memory.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking at. Anything that would be cached to memory.
Yep. Unfortunate, because I know that's going to hurt these processor companies. Everybody's suffering from it, right? AMD, Intel, like they're both.
There's no processor isn't affected by this.
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh. All right, let's make this the last article, gentlemen and lady. Next one, the new crypto mining malware. I could read. The new crypto mining malware targets businesses, PCs, and servers. I'm just going to throw my hands up here and say, duh. Man. Duh.
Well, I mean, they can't affect Android phones anymore. I mean, there's that at least. It's like the only argument.
It's
possible
funny.
You're right.
for like a centralized place to get your apps. That's the only good argument I can see for that now. Because it's like the Play Store. Oh, there's all these bad apps. We'll get rid of those. And on Windows, it's like, oh, there's all these bad apps, but
Right. Yeah. Well, if you need some firepower, you go where you can find it. I mean, of course, you go after businesses. Because businesses shut down. How many hours a day? The computers aren't doing anything,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
And then, so you run them at night.
You start that miner at 5:01 p.m. on a Friday and run that bitch until Monday morning.
On a whole call center, you know, right?
Yeah.
300 PCs running
You run
all
that
you
shit
can.
up until 7 a.m. on Monday.
Of course, they're all, Pentium 4s. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts, Tech Savvy?
You guys got your work cut out for you.
Fair. That's pretty fair.
I don't work in the industry, so.
Yeah. So
humble
so
brag, humble brag.
No,
Humble
not
brag,
a
yeah.
brag at all. I just
Thank you,
can't
guys.
get a job.
All right, guys. So that does bring us to the end of this show, and as you can tell, because we are about 5 minutes over, we've run out of time, but never out of shit to say. So join us again next week. That's the week right before DEF CON. Yeah.
that's
All right.
correct.
Cool. Yeah. So it's the week right before DEF CON. So join us again next week here at the Sin Shop at 7:30. Oh yes! Thank you. We have a special guest. Lab Fox will be returning next week to hang out with us. I can't wait. It's been a long time
I
since I've
can't
seen her. Yeah. So this is going to be awesome. So definitely join us again next week, 7:30 p.m. Here at the Sin Shop. And for more information on the Sin Shop, go to sinshop.org. I'm missing something. Oh, yeah, the address is 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. You could tell I was missing something because my brain, like, it skipped that
It's like,
process.
hey, wait a minute.
Right? That cache memory, they took it out. So for information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.SE. I almost said J. I was going to be pissed at myself.
Like
my
J-
name, yeah, like Dre noise. My name is Master Chen.
I'm tech savvy.
I'm Vic.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
Good night, everybody.